You're back. Let's begin with the news making rounds on ABS website, and we have quite a handful for you here this morning, quite enough to chew into. Let's begin. Anambra Guba, ABGA commences local government tour. British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Montgomery, visits ABS MD Moloku, calls for due process in Anambra governorship election. Over 1,375 beneficiaries of Anambra Youth Empowerment Program received startup grants in Awka South. Anambra governorship elections, TAF Africa EU trade over 25 persons on sign language interpretation. And also we have free medical health care program for Anambra women flagged off in Awka. Also, still making the news on ABS websites. Former ABS MD Nwora unveils new business venture in Abuja for mentorship capacity building. Anambra governorship election, INEC reassures of readiness to conduct credible polls. Senate commences screening of INEC chairman nominee Amu Petan. Today, FIFA World Cup playoffs, Nigeria to tackle Gabon. And then we have on the foreign scene, ceasefire, Israeli army continues sporadic attacks on Palestinians. And that's all we have for you from the ABS website this morning.
A lot of stories trending, but I think I'm interested in free medical health care program for Anambra women flagged off in Awka. It's a free medical program, and they need to ensure that people that need it, yes, really get it. Let it not be people that know who knows no. Their names will be, included,
smuggled in there,
smuggled in to take part in what is happening. But let everybody that actually or truly needs medical care that doesn't have money to access it, let it be those people that have access to this program.
All right, talking about the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Montgomery, visiting our own MD, in the person of Moloku Christopher, calling for due process in Anambra governorship election. Yeah, that's very, very important. Due process is needed because all stakeholders have brainstormed on how best to bring about a free, credible election to come November 8th. 2025 in Anambra State, and this is going to be more like a precursor to what we will be seeing much later. That will be in the 2027. So INEC can begin now to make Nigerians believe and be reassured on their actual independent nature when it has to delivering one of the most important dividends of democracy, which is actually making your vote and my vote to count. So let's see how that goes. And then, on a lighter note, talking about the FIFA World Cup playoffs, Nigeria needed that extra goal against Benin Republic in order to secure the playoff. If that match had ended 3-0, it would have been pack your load and go. But with that extra one goal, they were able to scale through.
All right.
Because they needed that 4-goal, margin.
To scale through.
Yeah, to scale through, pending what was happening in other matches. And with that one, they've now been betted into the playoffs, where they will still go and play Gabon on a single leg tie to determine which two African teams will now go and join the other confederations to play the playoffs. So the journey is even longer now. I'm telling you, the journey is even
longer. All right, God help them to achieve that. Now let's move on to the dailies. We have the Daily Times as the first paper for review in our lineup. In front of the Daily Times, you have nobody can capture Southeast with defection. Peter will be speaking. It can't be too sure. Article to federal government, publish contract details, financial terms of coastal highway project. Governor Diri speaker, other lawmakers quit PDP for APC. Odema. Defection. Democracy without opposition is authoritarian. Senator Dixon speaking. Expatriate quota. Stop importing skills Nigeria can provide. FG warns employers. 2.6 trillion naira power sector debt. Reps order Jos Disco to remit 72 billion naira. Kano Disco 40.7 billion naira to federal government. Reps move to probe oil firms over violation of local content tax laws in Imo State. All right, let's move on now to the Daily Sun, which is the second paper we'll look at before we comment. PDP loses another governor as they equate to join APC. Ex-Governor Dixon, ADC attack ruling party, warn on implication of one-party state. Mass defection to APC vindicates my support for Tinubu that's coming from Wike. Defection won't stop Nigerians from voting candidates of their choice, coming from Peter Obi. And Sultan Muslim leaders raised the alarm over social media abuse, insecurity. FG flays the trafficking, maltreatment of Nigerians in Libya, Niger, Chad. Christian genocide not possible in Nigeria, says ex-ACF scribe. And Sani, Edo Governor Obeolo recruits 5,000 teachers. All right, these are some of the stories we are trending. Okay, World Bank warns of looming job crisis, pushes agribusiness as solution. Okay, I don't know, Peter Obi is speaking, screaming, shouting at the top of his voice, you know, against the Nigeria being turned into one-party system. And when he said something concerning the Southeast, that nobody can capture Southeast with defection, Peter Obi speaking, I was like wondering, I hope he is sure of saying. If they cannot capture him as Peter Obi, how sure is he that they cannot capture the others?
Yeah, that's a very good one. But then, a politician is speaking, a businessman is speaking. And I believe, being the fact that knowing that he has been in the terrain, he knows his people probably so well, and that's why he is saying what he is saying. But talking about this defection of a thing, this is more like, you know, the main resources of the state is further being reduced with all this defection. Because sincerely speaking, the moment you defect, the sycophants that are in the party that you're coming in, they will now be claiming to be the new stakeholders that you'll be working with. And then you need to bring out money, you need to hold rally, you need to begin to brandish the entire nook and cranny of the state with the party colors and the rest of it all. This is waste of resources. Totally waste of resources. You understand? And I don't know if these people understand that if we're actually practicing democracy, it's irrespective of the party that you are aligning, you only have one vote.
You know, there's something about this country. You know, when this defection started, for instance, somebody that won a ticket under APGA, you know, defect to PDP, there was a call, there was a shout by so many people, even civil society organizations, that you don't defect with other people's mandates.
Yeah,
you know?
You don't.
So, and nothing was done about it. We can see it clearly what is happening.
Exactly.
That even if I win under PDP, I can move to APGA, nothing will happen. If I win under APGA, I can move to APC,
these are part of the electoral reforms
that
we need to actually talk about. You understand? If we don't address this...
Okay, it's just like this slogan now. APGA Bunkani, something like that. You know, you move around telling in the Anambra that this is our party, just like what is obtained in Delta State. If anyone told me in the dream that Delta can move to APC, I wouldn't believe it. Because since I know Delta State, it's been PDP state, that's what they call it. And somebody said, you can't take away PDP from Delta. And eventually it happened that APC took over Delta State. Now, somebody, our governor carried, what is it called? Okuko, you know, moving around, telling people that APGA Bunkani, and people are jubilating, they are excited that this is our own, you know, so, something like own it up, something like that. And at the end of the day, you win an election based on the fact that people believed you, that in Bunkani. after that, you will leave them and jump ship.
Now,
I don't know.
Now, when you begin to see these massive defections, look at now, Diri, which is the governor of...
Former governor.
No, the Diri, governor of Bayelsa, now quitting to join APC rather. You begin to wonder, what threat is APC?
He moved with ex-governor Dixon.
What threat does these governors, you understand, what are they being threatened with for this mass, what is it called, defection? Because ordinarily, you live in a country where even as the governor, the number one citizen, your dealings with your immediate family, the amount, let's take away the governorship aspect of it, the way you deal with your immediate family, the kind of money that comes out of your pocket is no longer what it used to be before you became governor. You know that the price of commodities in the market are not the same. This present government is failing from the federal. Irrespective of the fact that the federal government is coming to tell us that there has been increased money allocation, that we should blame our governors. You understand? For not doing what they are meant to do, that they can even pay us more than that 70,000 naira that the federal government has expected. Is that what they use in holding these people to ransom?
Yesterday...
What skeleton do these people... what do they have on these governors?
There's this thing was saying, this defection has become Okwakbunon, talking everywhere you go to, people are discussing about defections to APC. And yesterday we were having a discussion somewhere. In fact, my spirit was just saying that something is actually going on on the ground. Something is going on. So, but people don't just jump ship. I believe we will understand it by and by. Let's move on now. Let's see other papers.
Yeah, the next paper for review this morning is the Punch newspaper, and we have there Jonathan Slam's successor for abandoning Bayelsa project. And then we have presidential jet still unsold 4 months after listing. Inflation drops to 18.02 in 6-month streak. Senate screens new INEC chair Amu Peton. And then we have Hurricane Tinubu mass defections ignite one-party state fears. Atiku Obi kick as Tinubu tightens grip in South with governors' defections. APC awaits Diri. OT, Kefas. What is happening here? Even OT includes the, Lagos rejects National Assembly's central gaming bill. 4 arraigned over murder of Osun local government chair. House probes $35 million modular refinery project. Quickly, let's see if the person wearing suit there can be recognized. I think that's the president there, but looks unrecognizable in suit. Okay, let's go. Vanguard. Obi Dixon ADC rail against sparks of defections to APC, with riders say nobody can capture Southeast with defections, says Peter Obi. Tinubu's one-party system states unfold in ADC. I remain firmly with PDP. That's Dixon. And we have 3 more PDP governors. I can't see that clearly. Soon to resign, or I don't understand. That's coming from Fayoshe. Suicide reps move to ban hazardous pesticides. And let's see if the riders there can be captured. And then we have a Vanguard Summit Assemblies panel to deliberate on suicide crisis. 70% of suicides in Nigeria linked to ingestion of toxic pesticides. Lawmakers, speakers, panelists emerge for summit. Defection. By 2026, Nigeria will have 30 APC-controlled states, says Information Minister Idris. Currency swap, new framework underway. That's coming from Cardoso. On sports, Osimhen, best striker in the world. That's coming from Chile. And then we have, at the mast, inflation rate slows first time in 3 years to 18.02%. We won't negotiate with bandits, says Katsina Governor Rada. Bayelsa Governor Diri, Speaker orders lawmakers quit PDP. Nigeria risks chaos after raising violence. Sultan, Muslim leaders warn.
And I hope you can see our president clearly You said you didn't see him clearly in the other paper.
Okay.
You can see him clearly now with that beautiful suit, making him younger at the Akwaba summit. All right. A lot of stories actually on these pages of these papers. It's like we are in the season of defection. That's we've talked a lot about that, and that seems to be what is happening or what is trending these days in Nigeria. Now, a lot of other stories there talking about suicide. Reps move to ban hazardous pesticides. I wonder what somebody will be doing with pesticide. Is the person normal in the first place to ingest pesticide?
Yeah, we call it suicide when government frustrates you and then people want a way out and then they go taking pesticide. So now the question I'm asking is...
I think they should start from mental health of Nigerians. Then the issue of
70% of crisis. I mean,
the issue of high
suicide.
Cost of living.
Exactly.
You know,
those are the issues.
A lot of people can no longer afford 3 square bills in Nigeria. A lot of people, their children can no longer go to school. I don't know whether our leaders are seeing all this.
They're not seeing that. They want to
they are
reduce
busy
the
defecting from one party to the other. You know, and Nigerians are committing suicide as a result of mental health issues.
It's just so terrible. Yeah, I don't know if they want to even reduce the efficacy of this pesticide so that when you take them, it will be like juice. I really don't understand what it is here.
But pesticide is meant to kill.
Yeah, he has his job. You understand? So if somebody goes to take it and then, like they are saying that 70% of suicide cases is as a result of ingestion of
pesticide.
You understand? That shouldn't make you guys worry about pesticide. You should be worried rather. Why are these people, you understand, gravitating towards committing suicide? So those are the areas that we should be looking forward to tackle the issue.
Okay, there's a statement from Sultan. Nigeria risks chaos over rising violence. Sultan, Muslim leaders warn. But they are the ones, you know, hosting talks agreements with these bandits. They're not doing anything about it, and they are here telling us that it's going to cause chaos. I don't know.
It's already causing chaos.
It's already causing chaos.
There's no part of Nigeria that will not.
So what are they telling us now? That they can't stop those people as leaders?
These are people that they are no longer within that clutch of saying these are the people that they listen to, be it religious leaders or even be it community heads.
Somebody that is committing crime, what do you do to the person?
Of course, he faces there are laws now. So let him face the music. That's it. But didn't you hear when Rada was saying that he wouldn't negotiate with bandits in Katsina State? But this is the same Katsina State that has 6 local governments under the control of bandits, where people living in those local governments are paying levies to access their farm.
Actually, remember this Igbo adage now, Okenya anara no no. Okay, but these days, like the Okenye will be the one that will put the obole in the neck of the goat. You know, it's so unfortunate, but I believe that Sultan and all the leaders in the north should do something as leaders that they are. You know, because to curtail these excesses.
Actually touched them personally. They've not had that direct contact with this thing. That's why they're still taking.
Their mother has not been involved. Their sister,
that's why they're taking it with
brother.
kids close. But the whole of North know that we are not sleeping with both eyes closed. You understand? Nobody has really come out to vehemently and say, enough is enough of this thing. The so-called Gumi that has been going around and negotiating with bandits, if that young man has been caught and then apprehended and tried and thrown in the gallows, probably we'll have all this. When somebody will come and tell you he's not a terrorist, but he recognizes them, he knows where they are.
Even the woman that speaks to them, I'll be waiting, Mama Boko Haram. You know? Were you not in this country when we had Mama Boko Haram? Though I've not heard anything about her for some time, but there was somebody, Mama Boko Haram, they will tell her, she will come and tell government. They can't use that person. In fact, these people, they know what they are doing actually. Senate screens the new INEC chair because it has appeared in like 3 papers now. The Amopita today. You know, since the day he was picked, a lot of controversies. Some people are saying that he should not be the INEC chairman, but he's been screen today, and you know the kind of screening that we have in this country. Yes, take a bow. Take a bow. You know. All right. Let's move on now. We see the next paper this day, newspaper, The Nation, and see stories making their headlines in those papers. 24 hours after Mba joined APC, Diri abandons PDP, keeps mum on next move. All right, Cardoso was investor. Okay, we have riders to that story. Equates with whole of party structure. Ben Bruce joins APC. Ewe, Dixon reiterates loyalty to party. PDP appoints Ben Obi convention secretary. Inflation declines further 18.02% amid moderation in food energy prices, forex stability. Other stories there. Cardoso woos investors as FX turnover hits $8.6 billion, anticipates current account surplus to exceed $20 billion. With riders there, DMO reveals Nigeria in advanced talks to rejoin JP Morgan Bond Index. Elumelu calls for $4 trillion domestic capital to drive investment, boost Africa's productivity. UBA to launch white paper on Africa's financial infrastructure, and IMF urges fiscal discipline. Right, other stories, we see fundraising ceremony for Delta State Security Trust Fund. You can see the picture there with Governor Ebolo being flanked by other, I think I can see Jim over there, and other great men of Nigeria. We move down to see the story, 90th birthday celebration of Mama Victoria Abiodu. Congratulations as we tap into that longevity there. All right, we move on now to the next paper, which is The Nation newspaper. Lokbobiri Wike others. Okay, there is exit from PDP. Okay, Deputy Governor yet to decide. Dixon Obikik, PDP state chairman, endorse convention. Right, we say NNPC. Sorry, NEC approves 28 billion naira for Disco to provide meters. New investments to add 600,000 BPD, 2.0 billion gas daily. We also have other stories there. Edu spotted in high spirit at London Gallery booth. UBA to unveil a white paper on Africa's financial infrastructure. Stable Naira food price crash, drop inflation to 18.02%. Okay, I hope it's reflecting in our various markets across Nigeria. All right, we have the last but not the least story. Can you see that line down there at on the Nation newspaper? Okay, take it.
Teachers get employment letters in Edo. Tompolo donates 10 billion to Delta Security Fund. Well, congratulations.
All right, let's talk about this Wale Edu. Yesterday, I watched the video. You know, the spokesperson said it was spokesperson to the presidency, said something, and the video was trending. I watched it in the night, you know. I watched, you know, when I go to social media, I like reading comments, you know. So he walked to the, I don't know whether the lady is attendant in that art gallery or something. So he walked there and he was first to bring out his hand. I did so many analyses on my head last night, you know. He was sick, like we have said since Monday here, that there's nothing wrong in someone becoming sick. We can become sick of malaria. You go to the hospital if you want to conduct a test. You do a test, then they prescribe a drug for you. You take your drug, you get better, you know, and life goes on. No, there's nobody on earth that have not fallen sick before, except for people that, you know, there are people that don't take drugs. They don't like taking drugs. Like if they have headache, they can lie down, take water and sleep and wake up, the headache is gone. But there are some that must take drugs to get better. So I don't know what is in getting sick and the way they are going about this Wale Edu issue. It was said that taken to London for medical, you know. Anybody that goes to medical checks can equally go to other places, you know. I don't know why they are saying that they are denying that the man is not sick, because that is pure denial. To show us a video of where he's shaking hands with a woman in the art gallery, you know, spoke one or two words with her, that's pure denial that nothing is wrong with the man. But anything can be wrong with anybody at any time, you know. So what?
You're not above death, why
For as long as there's breath on your nostril, you can fall sick. So I don't know what's the big deal in Wale Edu's issue here. Or is there anything they're not telling us?
You know, Nigeria, with the way we do things, sincerely speaking, because what we have in the corridors of power, or people that we have within the corridors, are people vested with selfish interest. These are not people, these are not citizens with the interest of the nation at heart. They are not patriots, you understand? They are not statesmen. These are just, you know, like they will call it in the Greek Greek system of governance, where you have the idiots, the citizens, and the statesmen. What we have congregating in our leadership space are all idiots. These are not people that are thinking of how best to move this country. Now, talking about this issue of defection, if you want a party on a platform of this, on what basis are you guys, what are you bringing to the negotiation table to make me defect from the party that brought me to limelight to your own party that I'm not even sure of where we are headed? So these are the areas where you begin to know that our politicians don't even have our interest
at heart.
We are not in their scope of things.
And this will tell you the difference between developing world and developed country. If it were to be in a developed country, even if it's, in fact, the president of the American president, the one that, Biden, you know, they will come out to tell you that this is what is wrong with the president. They will give the name of this, and sometimes they use their experiences for other people to learn. If Wale Edu is sick, and I know what is wrong with Wale Edu, you know, I may not want such to happen to me or other leaders.
Running the economy of the country.
You may learn from what is wrong with him.
Running an economy like that of Nigeria is enough to keep you on your toes, irrespective of how fit, physically and mentally you are.
You may be.
You're human, you understand? And you're no longer on the side of youth. If I advance. So you have a whole lot, even though you might not be the one doing all the whole job, you have people assigned that are helping you. But the whole box still stops on your table. So if you need to even take a break off work in order to get yourself, go rejuvenate yourself, you go take that break.
From time to time,
you rejuvenate yourself. After all, didn't the president say he was going on a 10-day working leave in France, even though he had to cut that short and then jet out to some other place? So that's how people rejuvenate themselves in order to be functional to the job that is assigned to them. So all these issues of hiding behind your finger if you're sick and then telling us that all is well with you when we all know that it is. Because we don't want somebody that will not be performing his job and then the economy will be suffering. In Nigeria, people find it very difficult to resign, apart from that young minister that resigned on the issue of fake forgery to his certificates, which is a very, very a sad one and something much more like alien to us. Well, on that note, let's go to...
let's see food price crashing, inflation dropping to 18.02%. You know,
okay.
I said, let it not end on the pages of paper. Let there be reflection in our markets. That if I go to a Coca now to buy something, maybe what I bought yesterday for 20 naira, let me be able to buy it for 10 naira or 15 naira, as the case may be. So what we want as Nigerians is reflection of all this supre on the pages of paper. Let it reflect in our markets, please.
All right. Quickly, let's begin to go through the papers so that we can go through all of them at least and see what we have for you. The Guardian is next for review this morning, and let's begin with the Senate screening more pattern as INEC chairman. Today, we have Katsina government, not part of communities, negotiation with bandits, says rather. And then we have Nigeria's revenue to output ratio may drop to 9.2% by 2030, IMF warns. And we have Obi Atiku's 2027 bids wobble as defection, internal strife, rock LP and PDP. Stakeholders welcome easing inflation, worry about cost of living crisis. Reps probe 35 million brass modular refinery project. And then we've seen all those other stories quickly. Let's go to the Daily Trust.
We get more defectors.
Yeah, as Diri, we've seen that as Diri dumps PDP. Then we now see Sultan seeks social media regulation at Ulama meeting.
Is it Daily Trust? Okay.
Yeah. And then we have PDP governors now 8 as Diri resigns. Wow. Inflation drop despite food price reduction, purchasing power low. Fuel price climbs to 1,000 naira as queues resurface. Nigeria loses bid to host Commonwealth Games. Odinga's death creates vacuum in Kenya's opposition. Jonathan decries abandonment of projects, and we have court quashes suspension of political gatherings.
All right, we move to the Nigerian Tribune and see stories making their headlines there. Intrigues as, on defection yet, intrigues as Deputy Governor, 2 senators, rep members, Dechi Bayelsa, Governor. Why dumped PDP? Diri speaking. Solution to PDP's problem is not by joining APC. Dixon. Diri's decision changes the state's political outlook. First time since 1999. More rep members will follow Bayelsa Governor soon. Source speaking. We also have UBS set to unveil white paper. We've seen that. Obebolo gives employment letters to 5,000 teachers, a plus to them. Alleged misconduct, DSS arrests 2 ex-operatives. On health, we have diet soda unsafe for liver, expert warned. Other stories, INEC, keep your reputation intact. Obi tells Samu Peter. IMF hails Nigeria's fiscal reforms. Nigeria's inflation rate, we've seen that. And quickly we move to the blueprint and see stories making the headlines there. Still on defection as Taraba's Kefas warms up. The resignation depletes PDP governor's rank to 8. Nigeria's inflation, we've seen that 18.02%. 50% UK conservatives want Badenoch out before election polls. We can show preference for Robert Jenrick. We also have other stories. Katsina will never negotiate with bandits. Governor Rada speaking. UBA to unveil, we've seen that. And World Cup, Super Eagles ready for playoffs. We've seen that in other papers before. That's the multi trending. Let's see. Katsina governor. I think we've seen that in previous papers. He said that they would never join in negotiating with bandits. So what
is it
are
saying
they
that
doing?
they've not done it or they want to stop?
He said they will never negotiate with bandits. That means they've not done it before and they won't do it. That's the
maybe that's coming as the state government, not some communities, because some communities have been negotiating, you understand, for peace.
I wonder why the governor is saying this at this point. If you're not going to negotiate with the bandits, what are you going to do, or what are you doing as we speak to secure the citizens kept under your watch?
Well, let's see what happens and get to know what that even means, you understand? Just like we talked about the insensitivity of our leaders across board, you understand? All they think about is themselves. If insecurity is what it is that we see now, and you guys claim you know these people, because that's what they make us believe. Across board, there is no government with the intel gathering that they are at the disposal of, you understand, in their state, that they don't know where these people are. And there is security vote that is being given to you guys on a monthly basis in order to curb all these excesses, in order to equip the law enforcement agencies and even set up your own vigilantes, your forest guard and the rest of it. On a layman knows what to do in order to protect his own.
All
So
right.
the question is, what are you guys doing with this?
Ajula, at this point, I'm somehow worried, because there's this saying that a hungry man is an angry man, and our leaders should watch it, because there is a level to what you will do to a man. When it gets to a point, the person can no longer contain and explode. Let them, they know, there are people that are related to all these leaders. There are people that are related to their family members. So let them, the way things are going, you heard the story we read earlier that inflation has dropped, but purchasing power is still low.
Inflation is dropping, fuel is going up.
Fuel is 1,000 and the queue resurfacing. So the hardship being meted out to Nigerians should be looked into. It should be a clear call and as urgent, as soon as possible. Let them send out their people that do some jobs for them to go around and feel the pulse of the ordinary citizen in this nation. People are suffering. The prices of goods and services, even if it drops, some people cannot afford it. That is the situation as we speak, according to reports we are seeing this morning. So what happens when a man is hungry and angry at the same time? So this is a call for our leaders to rise up to the challenge. Let them see what they can do. Let people at least feed, because this is a basic need, feeding. Housing and what again?
Health, housing, feeding, another basic.
They should do something about the whole thing. You can't be telling me on the pages of paper that inflation has dropped to 18.0, which is still very high, though. But at the same time, we are seeing that purchasing power is low. That's good. We don't know where we are going to. We don't know what will happen tomorrow with people going hungry, going to bed on empty stomach.
On empty stomach. It's not as if you are doing papers.
Honestly.
But then, that's the much you can take on the papers that we've reviewed this morning. We implore that you go out there, walk up to any newsstand, and then get some of these papers so that you can get to read and know what's happening within your country and how your leaders are managing your affairs as it concerns you and I. And that's the much you can do on the newspaper review. Up next is a discussion segment on Good Morning Anambra. Don't go anywhere. The show continues after this time out.